let's look at how Jesus did this on the road to Emmaus. Remember how he taught those two on that road? It is fascinating and it is inspirational. Let's just take a few verses from that to remind us of that context. Luke 24, let's read 27 to 33.
Then, beginning with Moses and with all the prophets, he explained to them the things concerning himself in all the scriptures. And they approached the village where they were going. So he went in to stay with them. When he had reclined at the table with them, he took the bread and blessed it, and breaking it, he began giving it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. They said to one another, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he was speaking to us on the road, while he was explaining the scriptures to us?" And they got up that very hour and returned to Jerusalem.
Mhm. Peter was so broken after the denials that it makes sense that Jesus would have had to have appeared to him in a dramatic way. And nothing else is recorded like that. So he also would have been with Jesus intimately enough to be able to pick up on that subtle way that Jesus broke bread. So maybe he was the other disciple on the road.
And our hearts burning within us does sound like Peter's zeal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Whatever it was, because we really don't know. The power of the gospel truth to reset our troubled minds, it's immeasurable. And for Peter, either hearing these teachings in person or hearing about them afterwards, either way would have strongly built on the foundation of his initial action of running to the empty tomb. Remember, he took action, still didn't believe. And now you're faced with either hearing directly or a recounting of, and this is what Jesus was saying. I mean, the real life. This is the confirmation of the reality. And it's interesting that this is the fact that Peter gets up and goes to the tomb and then it's showing us that he did something positive. He was in a place where when you are broken, nothing positive wants to enter your mind, but his instincts were his love for the Lord overwhelmed him and he was incredibly blessed, and this is part of that blessing. Then seeing Jesus suddenly appear inside the locked room where he was with the other disciples would have further confirmed the reality. It did scare them to death, but it would have further confirmed the reality. Luke 24:36.
While they were telling these things, he himself stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be to you." Here's something interesting. There's a bookend to this experience. Jesus said, "My peace I give unto you," on the night of his betrayal at the Last Supper. And "peace be unto you" were his words when he first met the disciples together after his resurrection.
So essentially, Jesus said the night before his crucifixion, I am giving you my peace. And he comes back to them and says, I'm here with that peace. He just shows the comprehensiveness of the power that God has given him through all of this turmoil. And these disciples, and Peter is there, all were recipients of this. Peter he had acted, he had run to the tomb. Even though he was full of doubt, he still ran to the tomb. His actions were met with direct responses from the risen Lord Jesus. Peace be unto you. He's hearing him say that. The truth had been revealed in spite of his own broken life. And Jonathan and Julie, part of me thinks that the truth was revealed to him because of his own broken life.
Oh.
Because he was so broken, because he was so devastated, these things meant so much more. They really could take root. And of course, we know what the Apostle Peter became later on. This is a truly beautiful, beautiful unfolding of the small steps necessary to be able to reconnect after we've lost our way.